You are with the big story here. I'm Seher Zama. Top of the focus continues to be the encounter that took place at the break of dawn. This is 8 days after the rape and murder case of the doctor of Cyberabad that rocked the country. Today, all 4 accused in the case were killed in an encounter at dawn by the police. The police briefed the media from the encounter site, gave in details, saying that the accused first attacked the police with sticks and stones, even tried to snatch their revolvers. The police then fired in self-defense. In this crossfire, in this process, 2 policemen have been injured. The police has further added here that from the crime scene, they have recovered watches, mobile phones that were hidden in the bush.
We came here to this place to recover the victim's cell phone and other objects. So as the party approached this area today early hours, all the 4 accused got together. They started attacking the police party with stones, sticks and other materials, and also they snatched away weapons from our 2 officers and started firing. So even though our officers maintained restraint and asked them to surrender, but without listening to us, they continued to fire and continued to attack us. So again our people started in retaliation. In that retaliation, the 4 accused got killed, and when we examined after the lull, we could find that all these bodies were with bullet injuries. So in this firing also, 2 of our police officers also got injured, head injury and other grievous injuries.
Let's get in further inputs. Our correspondent Pramod with us from the encounter scene, which is barely a few meters away from the crime scene, which is why the accused were taken in to build up the sequence of events of the crime scene there. Pramod, on details that have now been put out by the police, there are still some unanswered questions. This is, of course, with respect to scrutiny that has followed on the procedure that the police chose to go ahead with in this encounter, saying that it is only because of self-defense here that they fired back, and they fired back to the extent that all 4 accused have died.
Well, there are a lot of unanswered questions over here. In fact, for a policeman, discipline is much more important. And imagine him losing a small part of his uniform will turn into a very big deal for him, and a lot of memos will be issued. Now, 2 policemen claim that the accused were able to snatch the guns from them. That is surmounting to a lot of memos and a lot of explanations. Having said that, the police also claim that they were not they did not have any any kind of idea that such an issue would occur. Behind us, over there is a bridge, and that's where the body was found. So what they said was that they brought up all the accused over here to actually recreate that. And just like the commissioner says, he claims that it was trying to recreate a crime scene and no other purpose. And that's why all the 4 accused were brought over here. And they claim that this is a spot inside this, you could see the crime scene tape. This is a spot where there was an altercation. Accused number 1 and accused number 4 got their hands in the the weapons, which was already safety was on, which means they could shoot, and that's the reason the commissioner claims the police had to retaliate, and all 4 were shot dead in this spot. Even now, you could see as we speak, forensic and other people are trying to comb the area. They're trying to find and collect as much evidence as possible. So the police very clearly mentions that this is nothing but retaliation. Yet, as you exactly mentioned, there are a lot of questions that are supposed to be answered. Knowing that the entire nation was watching this case, they could have been much more careful. A lot of more steps could have been taken, but the commissioner claims that only after report he could provide other answers.
Right. Pramod, when the police says that the accused were not handcuffed and their revolvers were snatched and they were also attacked with sticks and stones, so is this the place in these images that you're sending us, the terrain of this place here? This is exactly where the police say that they were attacked with sticks and stones.
Hey. Well, you could see over there, there are chalk markings on the spot where the bodies were, after shot, the accused were shot, they fell down. And this is the place where the bodies were removed from. And this is a cordon zone now. You have the crime scene, do not cross tape all across. And this is the actual crime scene spot right now where 4 people were shot dead by Telangana police. And as exactly mentioned, the commissioner very clearly again and again mentions it was retaliation. We did try to put forward the question as to why they were, not handcuffed. No answer to that. How were they able to actually get a gun from a policeman who actually places it inside his holster with the safety off. You need actually some kind of training to actually hold a police gun, and you have to like, keep the safety on before you fire, decide to fire it or pull the trigger. All these questions, they are not answered. The commissioner claims that they were able to use the weapon. We're not exactly sure how lorry drivers and lorry cleaners had the training to use a weapon, but still they claim that they feared that they might shoot or they already shot. That's the reason they had to go ahead. Even then, the commissioner mentions they actually opened fire on air, and only after that they shot and killed all of them. No answer about how many bullets were fired. No answer about the injuries that were sustained by the four accused. Was it on the head? Was it on the chest? But only one thing we can say, that all four sustained fatal injuries, and only after a detailed investigation, the actual question, the answers for actual questions would be given.
That's right. Pramod, our concern also is about the original case to this, which is the brutal gang rape and murder case of the victim, which was being investigated here. What of this case now? What of those investigations? Because all four who were accused, now these were still not convicted. This was in a very, very preliminary stage of investigation. All four accused, believed to be connected to this case, have now died. How will investigations move forward to that case now?
It certainly is, and even for this, the commissioner also had an answer claiming that they have collected scientific evidence. They have also profiled their DNA, and the commissioner also opened up a different book here, claiming that there is a possibility for them to be connected with various other deaths, especially of women who've been murdered and their bodies burnt. Is this a kind of we are not exactly sure if the commissioner tries to maintain that the four accused were serial killers or were they a part of a gang or not, but he claims that they are actually trying to gather information from other states, be it Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. So it seems like, according to him, at least the case will persuade, and it will continue, especially to find out about various informations. But with the accused dead right now, how are they going to proceed? That only, that actually hangs in the air.
Pramod, please stay on with us. We have gotten several reactions, and this is the most important reaction. This is coming from the parents of the victim here. In their current state, in their current condition, they say that they feel entirely vindicated. They claim that this will now prove to be a deterrent, and it will instill fear into rapists. Take a listen in.
जो हमारा बच्ची मर के आज 10 दिन हो गए, 10 दिन के अंदर उनको इनकाउंटर में मार दिया। मैं उसको लिए गवर्नमेंट, तेलंगाना सरकार और पुलिस और मैं जो मेरे साथ लोगों को सबको बता दे देता हूँ। मैं मेरा बच्ची की आत्मा का शांति आता होगा।
And I feel very happy for it, and I think this would be an example, and nobody will even think of doing it. And I think it's a record time they have did this. I would like to extend my thanks to each and every people who has supported us, as well as police, media, and Telangana government, and everyone.
Our correspondent Pramod getting us further details. Pramod is right there at the encounter site, as Pramod has been giving us those images there. Pramod saying that further scrutiny of the crime scene, further scrutiny of the encounter site currently on there. What has the police indicated? Because the NHRC has also sent across its fact-finding mission. They're going to be asking more questions to the police. In how much time would the police be ready with its report for this encounter?
Well, a proper time frame has not been given as to when such a report would be provided, because the commissioner claims that, on one end, an investigation will be conducted about the encounter itself by a separate body. But at the same time, the commissioner also mentions that he has a kind of evidence with them. The Telangana police has evidence in their hands which could actually relate to various other murders with these four accused involved itself. Over there, that's a bridge side where they actually found the body of Disha, and even this entire area is turning into a zone where where lots and lot of people are coming and they're trying to see what exactly happened. And most of them are only carrying the emotional response, and police for now is trying to keep the people away from the spot. This zone is very important right now because 4 people have been shot dead inside this crime scene, in this spot itself. And first and foremost, the police claim that they want to keep the people away. At the same time, as you could see, more evidence is also being collected on this side. Already, forensic department had come over here. They've collected various items from this spot, and even now, police, special teams carrying metal detectors, they are also combing the area. They've been doing it for almost the past half an hour, trying to gather more information. So it only trying to denote that the case is not yet over, and it will continue with the Telangana police will continue with their investigation.
That's right. But Pramod, what is this information gathering happening for right now? Because this is at the encounter site, which is, of course, about 70 meters away from the crime scene. Is this evidence gathering collection that we see right now happening, or what you're sending us in these images, is this pertaining to the crime, to the gang rape and murder?
Well, this is a spot where the 4 accused were shot dead, and the actual area where Disha's body was found was underneath the bridge. So even if you could see from here, it should be at least more than 100 meters. But the major aspect here seems to be that Telangana police wants to show actually that the investigation will continue, because the commissioner has already mentioned that there is a possibility for these 4 men to be involved with murders of women in various other states. Especially, they are trying to find a narrative or find a pattern. The commissioner even said that they're trying to actually get information about murders of women whose bodies were found in a whose bodies were found, it was burned. So those information from various states also being acquired. In this area, if you could see right now, this becoming a very important spot. They are actually, before leaving the spot, there is a lot of chances that it could get contaminated. They want to collect each and everything, because this will be once again produced in front of a committee which will inquire this encounter, and it also has to be submitted in front of the court.
Okay. All right, stay with us, Pramod. I'm going to be asking you in a bit on what really are these other cases that the police think that the accused could be connected to. Do we have more details of these other cases that the police now is talking about? But let me quickly get in more voices. These are former police voices. We have Mr. A.L. Banerjee, former DGP, also Mr. K.L. Gupta, former DGP as well. First to you, Mr. Banerjee, your first response, your first thought when you heard of this encounter?
Very suspicious. Absolutely questionable. I don't think in police custody this kind of a thing should have happened. This reminds me of the Sundar case of 1980s, when under trial, who was in police custody, was being taken from place A to place B in Delhi, is supposed to have broken the gate of his lockup van, jumped into the Yamuna, and the police shot him. So, but that was never investigated, or somebody did not go into it. The other one is that the present Commissioner of Police, when he was SP in Warangal in 2008, 3 people had sprinkled acid on 2 women. One of them died subsequently, but these 3 were never caught.
Yes.
They were killed in an encounter. Now, when the public of Hyderabad, they kept asking for the same kind of treatment as far as Warangal was concerned to be repeated in this particular manner, in this case. Now, these 4 people were in police custody. Remember, they were arrested. They were inside the jail. The police asked for their custody, and when the police asked for the custody, they are responsible. They're responsible for the well-being, etc. None of them were armed. If they were in police custody, they couldn't have been armed. They had gone to the spot, and it is very, very suspicious that they were trying to do that. Despite the fact that people are saying that justice has been done, I do not think justice has been done. This is highly questionable. This should be investigated thoroughly and properly.
Mr. Banerjee, please stay on with us. We appreciate you giving us that reaction, and you're finding suspicion in the act of the police here. But let's also get into Mr. K.L. Gupta. Would you be in agreement, or do you think that this was a case, this was a firing in self-defense, as has been stated on record, put across very clearly by the police?
from him. You see, we should have an open mind on these encounters. You see, it may be true also because it will be ultimately inquired by Judicial Commission or Magistrate inquiry. The truth will come out. You see, we should not
Yes.
start with a suspicion. That is the duty of a human right agitation. Already they are doing it. But as a policeman, we should have an open mind. That I say.
Right.
It may have been correct, and the police
Okay.
is trying to find out their earlier background also, whether more persons were involved or they were involved in more crime. All those things will come out. So truth will naturally come out after some time. So we must have an open mind. We should not speak like human rights activists. We see who children are not suffering.
All
They have
right,
not
but
suffered, so
Mr.
they can
Gupta,
speak.
it's fine. Of course, it's absolutely valid to be going ahead with what the police here has stated on justifying this encounter. But for someone like you, who's belonged to the police force, who's belonged to the profession, do you have any questions with respect to what the police states, that the accused were taken to the crime scene to build up the crime scene, but they were not handcuffed? They managed to run away in just by attacking the police with stones and sticks that were found nearby.
Handicapping is a different
And they
matter.
managed to steal revolvers, unlock it, and shoot at the police as well.
Of course, all these matters are subject to investigation, and the handcuffing is done on the orders of the court. All those things are there. They have gone to reconstruct the crime. So, of course, there may be problems, but you should not be you should not have any judgmental about all these things. First thing. Then you see why the public is happy. So
Okay.
ultimately go further deeper into matter. Why the public is happy into this encounter, right or wrong? Because our delivery system has failed and broken down totally. You see, after the Nirbhaya case, the trial was completed 2 months, initial trial. Now 7 years has passed, appeals revision and pardon, all those things. So the criminals have a good time. They can again commit the crime. They again rape the person. They throw the acid and all those things. So how far can you go? How long can the public? So what the public is saying, and public is throwing flowers on them, all those things, that shows that our criminal justice system should
Right,
improve.
but Mr. Gupta,
and the
this is of course this is an emotional reaction because of absolute outrage, understandable outrage that we've all had on this case regarding this case. But would you connect this encounter to the original investigations here of the gang rape and the murder of the doctor here? Because this encounter, of course, was entirely done on self-defense by the police. Do you think it has not damaged investigations because these four were still accused? They were not convicted. This was the first time they were taken to the crime scene to get in more details for the police.
Talking to me? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Gupta.
You want response? No, you see, they were under investigation. That's all right. But they had gone to, and they had taken the police custody. They had gone to the scene of crime to reconstruct it. That's all right. But suppose, you see, under IPC Section 100 of IPC, there is the right to private defense. If they snatch something, I mean, the police may not have been so alert in the morning. They have snatched this thing, they threw stones on them. So,
Right.
in your right of private defense, you can go up to killing the person. Even an individual can do it, not the police officer. Even a public man can also kill the person. That is the right of private defense given to you under IPC Section 100. So, I mean, all those things are matter of inquiry. You should not be judgmental, I say. You should not immediately go into a judgment that
Okay.
police is wrong or something wrong. So, you wait for it, but see the public outcry.
Right.
Right. Go for it.
Okay, we
So
got
that
your
why the
point, because
public is
there's
out-
going to be an inquiry on the encounter as well. Let's not be judgmental, but these are natural questions being asked by many who've been watching the developments. Mr. Banerjee, final word to you here on this. Do you think that today's encounter has damaged investigations to the original case of the gang rape and murder? What happens to investigations of that case now?
The accused are not there. Once the accused are not there, the four named accused are not there. It makes no sense. Number one. Number two, let the police go ahead with the investigation. Let them find out if they have anything else or not. However, an FIR, but the Supreme Court is very clear in these matters. An FIR should be lodged against in this matter of an encounter, and it should be investigated by somebody very different from the Telangana police. This is suspicious. I am keeping an open mind. Mr.
Okay.
Gupta is my senior. I respect him a lot, but in this particular matter, things are very, very suspicious. It is absolutely out of the way, and this ought to be investigated very thoroughly.
All right.
This is not a run of the crime, absolutely.
All
And
right,
he's
Mr.
very right.
Banerjee. Mr. Gupta, we'll have to leave it at that. These are two opposing views coming in from both former police voices here, both that need to be taken into account as per concerns being raised in the wake of this encounter. In fact, concerns were raised today by the members of parliament today as well, having stood divided over this encounter. Some members have justified the encounter. Others say that it was a miscarriage of justice. Take a listen in.
I think the most important thing is that justice should be done. In a country with rule of law, obviously we want justice to be done through the judicial process. In this particular instance, we don't know the full details. If the assailants were armed, or if they were trying to take a gun from the police or whatever, then the police may have been justified.
It's a very, very dangerous thing to have happened. Those people were in any case going to get hanging as a punishment for the heinousness of their crime. But you cannot kill people because you want to.
दे रहा है दुरुस्त है हम क्या की आत्मा को दे रहा है बहुत दे रहा है
ये जो हुआ है इसको कानून में कानून होना चाहिए कानून में 7 दिन का 15 दिन का अंदर इसको फांसी या एनकाउंटर होना चाहिए ये जो निर्भया कांड जो 2012 में हुआ था अभी तक जो निर्भया कांड का जो नाबालक है वो अभी तक घूम रहे हैं क्योंकि नाबालक है लेकिन इसको तो विचार चाहिए ना निर्भया कांड का जो फैमिली है वो भी अभी तक विचार नहीं हुआ तो ये जो एनकाउंटर हुआ है बहुत ही अच्छा हुआ है इसको लीगल करना चाहिए
In fact, inside Parliament as well, Lok Sabha had to be adjourned because there were heated arguments regarding this encounter.
कोई जवाब तो देना चाहिए सरकार को कोई जवाब देना चाहिए सरकार को देखिए हैदराबाद में वो आरोपियों को गोली से उड़ा दिया जो भागने का कोशिश किया गोली से उड़ा दिया हैदराबाद पुलिस ने और उत्तर प्रदेश के पुलिस वो जो अपराधी है उनको छूट दे दिया उनको जमानत पर छूट दे दिया
उन्नाव की घटना को लेकर एसआईटी बनाई गई है और यहाँ पर ये पहले सेंगर वाला केस नहीं है दूसरा केस है लेकिन हैदराबाद में जो हुआ एक महिला होने के नाते एक वकील होने के नाते मुझे लगता है कि जो कानूनी प्रक्रिया है उसका पालन किया गया है अगर जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी कोई गलत काम करेगा और उसके बाद पुलिस के हथकड़ी छोड़कर भी भागने की कोशिश करेगा तो पुलिस को जो वेपन दिए गए हैं जो बंदूकें दी गई है वो सजाने के लिए नहीं दी है उनका उसको इस्तेमाल करना है तो उन्होंने उसका इस्तेमाल किया और कानूनी रूप के तहत उसकी एफआईआर दर्ज होगी एनएचआरसी को जाएगा और उसके ऊपर इंक्वायरी होगी
People of the country have reacted strongly to the news of this encounter of the 4 accused being shot down. Take a listen in.
I don't think the answer to addressing issues such as rape is going to lie in the hands of policemen who are capable of killing them.
I think it's the right way because I don't believe in our judicial system.
Although it is not the right way, but if they were real culprit, then the fate is correct. At least we should give some message, hardcore message in the society that if you do the heinous act, you will get the punishment to the same quantum or rather more than that.
There is absolutely a reason that a legal system exists in the first place. I know that we think there are many holes in our system, but it is not upon us or the police system to take it into their own hands.
All right, with that, it is a wrap on the show. News and updates that continue for you right here. Several other reactions, literally the society standing divided on today's encounter.